What's going on, Dylnation? It's the Dylstar501 here, and welcome to the third ever What's Raw from Monday Night Raw, where I cover, or where I react to, the major points from this week's Monday Night Raw. If you haven't seen the other two, I'll leave that in the description below. But this week, there wasn't much to talk about because, well, it's the last Raw of 2015, and they're supposed to have you talking about the first one of next year's 2016 Raw, the first one of the new year. But they didn't do anything noteworthy for the last Raw. But there were a couple of things that I wanted to discuss, so let's get to it. So the show starts off with Vince McMahon cutting it to the short and sweet to the point, calling out Roman Reigns right away, saying, "You better get your ass out of here, Roman Reigns, because you have hell to pay right now." And then here comes, you know who, Mr. Smiley, all the time, who's supposed to be a badass and not supposed to smile, Roman Reigns, the WWE Champion. And then, once he's in the ring, Mr. McMahon starts going on this tirade about what Roman Reigns did to the McMahons over the course of 2 weeks. Turning his back on Stephanie. Well, I mean, he didn't attack her, obviously. He just, turned his back on her and then walked away from her. And then, Superman punching Vince 2 weeks ago to win the WWE Championship. And attacking Triple H at TLC. And then Vince McMahon is like, "Oh, you did all these things, but soon they're gonna come back to bite you. Especially what you did to Triple H at TLC. When he gets his revenge, you'll never see it coming. In regards to the WWE Championship, you'll never see that coming either. Yeah. Sooner or later, you're gonna lose that WWE Championship. Yeah." And then Roman Reigns is just like, "So what's your point?" And then Vince McMahon goes on about the Samoans and how they didn't have any balls, and then which causes Roman Reigns to push the old man. And here comes, you know who, Stephanie McMahon, with the Brooklyn Police Department, and she wants Roman Reigns arrested, but then they're like, "Nope, we're not gonna arrest him." And then Stephanie McMahon gets all pissed and goes into her monthly period and saying, "You better arrest that man right now. You better arrest that Samoan badass rebel right there." It's like, "You better back up." That's the police. "You better back up, woman. You better back up or we're gonna take you to jail." And then Vince McMahon's gonna come in and be like, "Let's all come down. Let's all come down. Do you know who I am?" And they don't care who he is. They don't care if he's Vincent K. McMahon. They just want him to back up or he's going to go to jail. And this causes Mr. McMahon to go into period mode too. And then Vince McMahon puts his hand on the officer, which causes the police to arrest Mr. McMahon instead. And then Mr. McMahon ends up going to jail for assaulting a police officer and resisting arrest. However, this didn't last very long. Obviously, we all know how it ends. Stephanie McMahon posts bail on Vince McMahon, and they all head back to the arena before the show ends. So, before the main event, John Cena makes his return, cuts his usual Superman promo about how he's fired up in Brooklyn and he wants his United States Championship rematch right now. And here comes Alberto Del Rio with the League of Nation of Domination. Yeah! But then Alberto Del Rio is like, "I'm the guy that kicked you in the head and sent you home for 2 months, but you do not deserve your rematch tonight. Brooklyn doesn't deserve this rematch tonight." And it takes almost 5 to 10 minutes for John Cena to have the balls to get Alberto Del Rio to have the balls to give him his rematch, which was kind of too long for me. I mean, it should have been short and sweet to the point, so we can have at least a good U.S. Championship match to make up what should have been a better match at Hell in a Cell. Anyway, the match was pretty decent, but we all know how it ended. The League of Nations get their asses into it, and then here comes the Usos, who were easily disposed of because they competed in a match with the rest of the League of Nations along with Dean Ambrose in a tag team match which the League of Nations won. And then here comes Roman Reigns, obviously, to beat the ever-living shit out of the League of Nations single-handedly. But then it's not over yet. No chance in hell this show is ending without Vincent Kennedy McMahon. Yeah. Roman Reigns, I know how to start the WWE year of 2016 with a bang. We're gonna have a WWE Championship match. It's gonna be you versus Sheamus for the WWE title. And who's gonna be the special guest referee? Me. Oh yeah. Happy New Year, everybody. Happy New Year. So that's how the show ends. And what a way. Not really. Meanwhile, while all that was happening, Kevin Owens went into one of the biggest temper fits that he has ever had in his life. After he lost to Neville in like 18 or less than that seconds. Well, not only that, but because he didn't win Breakout Star of the Year. Rightfully so. He goes on a temper fit, starts beating the shit out of Neville, and then after the commercial break, when he was initially done with beating up Neville, he comes back for more to beat up Neville with that huge ass clothesline onto Neville. And then he's about to do that pop-up powerbomb onto the apron so he can send Neville packing home into the hospital with an injury. Here comes Dean Ambrose to send Owens away to prevent further injury onto Neville. But then it would cost Dean Ambrose. I mean, after the match with the League of Nations and the Usos, which Dean Ambrose and his team lost, here comes Kevin Owens beating the ever-living shit out of Dean Ambrose. And then, next thing you know, the Brooklyn crowd is getting fired up because they're seeing the aggressive Kevin Owens that they should have been seeing since his debut. And he gives Dean Ambrose the Pop-Tart powerbomb through the announce table from the steel steps. And what should this lead up to? I believe an Intercontinental Championship match at the Royal Rumble. But not any kind of Intercontinental Championship match. Either a no-holds-barred Intercontinental Championship match or a last man standing match. To open the show and seal the show. So it'll make every match at the Royal Rumble hard to top. One of the last things I wanted to talk about was the altercation that happened on Miz TV. Miz was supposed to have this 2015 year in review, and it keeps getting interrupted by many of the lower card superstars. It didn't last like too long for Miz. Ryback comes out, Goldust comes out, even Zack Ryder comes out. Everyone in Brooklyn was so proud that Zack Ryder got some spotlight on Raw. I was actually proud of this segment because it gave some time for some of the lower card superstars that don't get a chance to appear on Raw to get some airtime. And I think that the superstars that don't get time on Raw should get some, at least a decent amount of time on Raw in the next year. Hopefully they will. Anyway, continuing on. R-Truth comes out, even though it has nothing to do with the segment. They're trying to discuss about how they're going to be the 2016. They're going to make 2016 their year. R-Truth is just like, vote for me in the Slammies as the superstar of the year. And then the Miz is like, that was last week, you dumbass. You even won one, you idiot, for low moment of the year. It's like, I did? Yeah, you did. Dumbass. Anyway, continue on. Even Heath Slater comes out. That was just too much for me right there. Heath Slater coming out. But then who ruins it? Well, it's the Pig Slow. The Pig Slow comes out and destroys everybody, even Ryback. But one of the funniest things I thought about Big Show destroying everybody was R-Truth giving himself the KO punch. And then Big Show actually laughed it out at it. But then he decided to ruin it by giving him a chokeslam. And then Big Show continues to ruin everyone's fun by announcing himself as the first entrant in the 2016 Royal Rumble match. Well, we all know how that's going to work out. Big Show is still not going to win the Royal Rumble match. But who is? Who do you guys think is going to win the Royal Rumble match? I actually still don't know yet. But let me know what you guys think. Who's going to win the Royal Rumble match this year in 2016 in the comments below. A couple of other things I wanted to say, like from Monday Night Raw, that I won't go into further detail about. There was a pointless Divas match between Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch, which obviously ended with Sasha Banks getting the win because of Team Bad, and Becky once again failing to beat Sasha Banks even without Charlotte in her corner, and because of Team Bad. And then the New Day was in the corner of Kofi Kingston as he took on Kalisto with Sin Cara in his corner, which Kalisto won even with the numbers disadvantage of the New Day. But then Big E Xavier Woods challenged Sin Cara to a match against Big E after initially challenging Sin Cara to a match against Xavier Woods himself. And then Big E obviously won that match. But then Sin Cara took a dangerous fall onto the concrete when Big E pulled him off the ring apron. It looked like he actually injured his shoulder for a moment, because he was holding on to that thing for the rest, for the duration of that match. So I hope he's not seriously injured, because that would really suck for the Lucha Dragons in the tag team division. Overall, Raw wasn't that bad this week. I thought it was alright. It was actually pretty good to me. It's just that some of the stars were obviously missing, because I think they had a live event that same night too. And then they just needed to make up for the people that were missing. Well, you win some, you lose some, right? Well, let me know what you guys thought of Raw last night in the comments below. And always remember to subscribe for more insanity. All my social media links in the description below. And check out my channel for tomorrow for a special review of 2015's most popular songs. I'll be interested in what I see. Alright, Dylnation. Hearts to each and every one of you. And always be delicious.